Good afternoon, everyone. Let the Nerd Council of Doom assemble for August 2026 as we sit here in a surprisingly comfortable day in August. Let us sit back and review our achievements. We took the month of July off in order to launch some of our world domination plans. How did it go, guys?
Hey, you know what? Things are going well up here. I've managed to set up a tariff war between Canada and the United States. That's
Nice.
going
Good
beautifully.
job with that, by the
Excellent.
way.
Yeah. We got strategic maple syrup reserves ready, and those are going to be flooding south soon. So, it's all good.
Excellent. How goes the swamp?
Well, I was present in Lake Geneva. I extended my reach once again into the land of 1,000 lakes. And by the way, Dungeon Minister Father Aaron, great job with the weather control and the heat beams burning down your own forest.
Now that
Beautiful strategic maneuver. The air was thick enough to cut when I was up there in Lake
well,
Geneva.
I'd like to to leave no traces behind. Just as a correction, I want to let you know the land of 1,000 lakes is Minnesota. If you ever make that mistake again, everyone from Wisconsin is going to pelt you with cheeses until you are buried.
It won't be
Heads up.
it won't be after I'm done. But anyway, no, I was up at EggCon having a lot of fun, just presenting myself as a mild-mannered Dungeons and Dragons enthusiast. Of course.
You're about 20 minutes from my hometown there, by the way.
Excellent.
I could have on an aggressive day biked over to Lake Geneva.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know, with the smoke from the Canadian forest fires as thick as it was, I'm not sure how far you'd have made it. But no, I had a lot of fun. Heidi and Eric are most excellent hosts. They will be fine lieutenants in our further as we expand our organization. I'll approach them with a boilerplate offer once we begin to lock down all the governmental authorities. But I had a lot of fun up there, and from thence I've just kind of enjoyed the rest of the month of July. Of course, it was the 250th anniversary of the independence of the United States and the 125th anniversary of the secret Second American Revolution that they don't tell you about in history books. Other than that, I've just been working on various projects. So nothing new to report.
Excellent. I have begun phase 2, thanks to the Padre. Down here, we will now institute a 50-cent American tax every time someone ends a sentence with the word A. And
that's going to hit Milwaukee pretty hard, I have to tell you.
We're fine with that. And if anyone says toque instead of beanie, that's automatic jail time.
Beanie? Is that what you call a winter hat in New York, a beanie?
That's what everybody calls it everywhere.
No. Wisconsin is just a hat. I think Wisconsin may need to lead an attack on New York. I may have to coordinate that from my secret base in Canada.
Fine with me. They can take New York. Just make sure you get the city. I figure the bag of milk is punishment enough.
Oh,
and we don't need
that
to do
I have to say,
yeah.
Stupidest way to package milk I've ever seen in my life. Oh well.
It's like somebody's cousin owned a plastics factory.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, when I got here and it says plastic, I'm like, why on earth? Well, so it's plastic, so it's recyclable. Plastic milk jugs are recyclable. That's what I grew up with, a big 1-gallon plastic milk jug and the different colored cap and ring around it to tell you what, if it was skim or 1% or what, Those are recyclable and they're easier to rinse out too.
Yeah. I mean,
Michael Dale, you will now have 50 cents added to your dues for next month.
and of course, as far as that rate, I think that's fantastic, Yang. I mean, look at how they spell the name of the country up there. Canada.
That's right.
Milwaukee's Wisconsin in general, but Milwaukee in particular says A lot, but they spell it AY rather than EH. The Canadian spelling is EH. So they're just a bit of trivia for anyone who's interested, which I think is probably nobody.
So Vinny says, dice me nuts hearing liquids pluralized. I'll take 2 milks.
Oh, I'll take 2 milks.
Something wrong with that, Greg?
I mean, if it is in an individual unit, like if you're out to eat and you've got kids and you're getting milk cartons, 3 cartons of milk, I guess, 3 milks.
Yeah.
No, I actually I get it. I mean, like it just kind of it's slight fingernails on the blackboard for me when somebody says, "Do you guys want some beers?" Well, I mean, there's many of us, and I guess we all want our own. So yes.
Yeah, you don't want one like mixing bowl full of beer and a bunch of straws.
Right, exactly.
That'd be weird. A pail of beer.
But I just kind of, can I get y'all a beer? It's
grammatically beers is correct, but yeah, I get your point. Because like if they got you a beer, here's 1 can of beer, fight.
But to be fair, wouldn't you call any carbonated liquid Coke?
Yes, and I am from the deep South, so it's not just Coke, it's Coca-Cola. C-O''COLA, Coca-Cola. And that's how it'll be taught in schools after the takeover. So you guys can grin at it all you want to, but that's gonna be the nomenclature.
I grew up, in Wisconsin, and it was always pop.
Yeah.
Then I moved to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where it was soda. And people in Janesville growing up, if you said soda, fine, okay, whatever. But people in Milwaukee, if you say pop, it is a religious war you're starting.
Yes.
And then I moved to Canada, so it's soda in Milwaukee. Then I moved to Canada where it's pop again. I'm so confused.
Yeah, I found the line in New York State. It's slightly east of Rochester, New York. There is like a very, like, I'm not joking. You go from one little town and it's pop, and you drive 10 minutes to the next little town and it's soda. And everybody hates each other.
And the lines, it's like accents in the United Kingdom, Yeah, I can tell where you come from 3 blocks that way. How do you know your accent?
Down here, it's sody pop.
Sody pop.
Sody pop. I can be honest, I have never said sody pop, but I have unironically heard sody pop from my elders back in the 70s.
Well, I'm the jackass who likes to go to the McDonald's and order a large Mac. And then there's just silence from the I would like a large Mac, please.
There's another this seems like a Midwestern thing also with assigning possessives to brand names.
Yeah.
So can I get you a beer, hon? What do you want? We got a Budweiser's.
Yeah.
You want a Budweiser's?
No, the possessive.
We've got a Mooseheads. Which again, grammatically, it's correct.
It is one of their beers.
It is one of their beers, and yet at the same time, it's like a can full of broken glass. Don't put that S on the end. It's a Budweiser beer. It's Labatt's beer. Labatt's bad choice. It's
a blues, eh?
Yeah, exactly. It's a Moosehead.
It's
not Mooseheads.
Got some Coors.
We'll see if I get chased out of Clericon this year.
Now, the other Wisconsin things are things like come by one time. to come by someone's house is to go to their house. It makes it sound though like you're going to be in the area, but not in the house.
Yeah, I'm just
by.
just a drive by. I'm coming by.
I'm coming by. And then one time, come here one time, indicating that the request is not going to be onerous. This won't involve your whole day. This isn't going to be difficult, but come here one time. Come here once.
I'm another one. This is more of like I have heard so many regions around the United States try and claim this, and as an expat padre, maybe you can tell us if this is in fact a thing up there too. Is you sit and you talk to somebody for like 2, 3, 4 hours into the night, and then you go, well.
Yep. And the hands on the. That's also
the hands on the thigh. I've heard so many people say, "Oh, that's a Wisconsin thing. That's ours." I'm like, nah, I'm sorry. I grew up south of that Manson-Nixon line. That is every Southern man's way to draw a conversation.
I think it's just human because the Brits do that too. Well,
Well,
I know the Wisconsin thing is as the person's leaving, you follow them into the driveway to continue the conversation, and they're in their car, and you're standing there, so they have to roll the window down, and you keep talking to them.
Again, that's a Southern thing too. Well, I better get going is the beginning of the last hour of conversation.
Yes,
that will be held in the foyer, on the front porch, in the driveway with a person in the car.
Yeah. If my mother wasn't more brutal, we'd still be in the driveway with my grandmother talking.
See, I usually have the opposite problem where I have to slowly move forwards towards the guest, so they start to feel uncomfortable and they slowly retreat until they get to their car.
You have a threatening aura, Yang. So,
well, it's 11 o'clock at night, Bill. It's time for my beauty sleep.
The other Wisconsin thing is because there's so much German immigration into Wisconsin. The word order sometimes is mixed up. You find it more in older folks who are closer to German parentage, but my family would say things like "throw grandma down the stairs a kiss."
Throw me up the stairs, my hat.
Yeah, throw me up the stairs, my hat. Yeah, it was just.
Yeah.
Throw grandma down the stairs a kiss. All right.
In Wisconsin, do they say things like the dishes need washing or the grass needs cutting?
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's like a thing, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would never say those things because I don't want to attract attention to all the work I have to get done. I prefer to just let other people observe it and decide he's never doing it.
Apparently, some Californians find that quite grating.
Really? Then I will say it always.
Same.
It keeps them away.
Hi, California.
It's like garlic with vampires.
Except Californians wouldn't say the grass needs cutting because it's too bloody hot to grow grass there.
That's right.
That or it's a code violation to cut it.
All
Anyway.
right.
So, gentlemen,
una fresca. Yes. That was also in El Mariachi. Un fresca.
Yep.
He's always ordering a pop in a bateo way, in a bottle.
So,
gentlemen, I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Well, there's enough of it to go around.
We lost an agent this month. Dolly Parton.
Yeah, she was phenomenal, and I feel like here I'll pop this. Let me see if it'll let me share.
I think she was the first celebrity that I knew about. Like, the first person whose name I knew that I'd never met.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about somebody else here in a minute, of course.
Sadly.
But people come to. This is going to sound horrible, but if I found out tomorrow that Harrison Ford had passed away, Harrison Ford's in his mid-80s, I think. And I mean no disrespect and no offense or anything like that. There comes a point, there comes a point in your life where you lay down your earthly burdens and you move on to the next.
Yeah.
I fully expected to be 70 years old and hearing about this woman's centennial.
Yeah.
And her looking absolutely as vibrant as she does in that beautiful, if I'm not mistaken, that photo is Annie Leibovitz there. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I know she did do some shots with her. I fully expected that. Like, Dolly Parton passed away at 80. That's too young.
Yeah. It's just force of nature. You didn't, and Harrison Ford seems to, like, in that specific comparison, and God bless the man. Seems like he's really wished he was dead for about the last 40 years. He's just like, oh, for crying out loud.
Yeah, he just seems kind of irritated by the, I think he's kind of he may be, and I don't know, the guy could just be full of joie de vivre. He could wake up every morning, jump out of bed, snap his heels together, and stroll around his house whistling zippity doo dah. But yeah, he kind of puts out an aura of the Charles Bukowski R. Crumb cartoon.
Yeah.
Every morning I bend over to tie my shoes and I think, Jesus Christ, now what? And I feel like Harrison Ford puts out that aura. Dolly Parton strikes me as, y'all, I'm sorry I'm late. I just had to stop and play in a Little League game for a bunch of Girl Scouts. They were down a player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that makes perfect sense because, of course, because you're Dolly Parton. I completely get it. It literally doesn't compute that she's gone, and I hate the fact that I hate the fact that I know that, and that I'm existing in a time when I talk about when Dolly Parton was still with us. Yeah. We could make this entire episode till 7:00 tonight, nothing but talking about this woman's accomplishments.
Yeah.
So I will leave it at this. Just myself personally, it's for myself. I'll leave it at this. She did not pass away. She just went home.
Yes. And she would have been the very first person to tell you that.
Yes. I wouldn't have to chase her slowly, inch by inch, out my door, because she would know when to leave.
And you wouldn't want her to.
No, that's right. I'd be like, hey, we got the couch folds out into a sofa, Dolly.
Let's play Yahtzee. Come on.
Yeah. She'd be like, all right.
So, yeah, heartbreaking.
I'll get the pretzels. You get the Mountain Dew, and we'll start. And to me, the thing about Dolly is not necessarily just her. She had a great run songwriting, singing. She became an actor, et cetera, et cetera. But it was really everything she did off, behind the scenes, off camera, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
sorry about that, guys. I didn't mean to.
It's all right.
Dolly was looking rough at the end there.
Yeah.
But it's more how she treated people. Her father had literacy problems, so she decided she would give every kid in Tennessee books. She said Disney World is too far for poor people from Tennessee to go, so she built Dollywood.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. And in addition to that, there's so many people she helped behind the scenes, uncredited songwriting, helping to make deals. She turned down Elvis for, I believe it was for Jolene, he wanted to do. And his manager.
That would be a very odd, considering the words to that song.
Yeah.
I know. Maybe I'm getting it confused with another one, but she definitely turned him down once because they wanted 40% of the royalties. And she really helped a lot of, especially women and smaller artists, really break out from under record company monopolies. If only the current crop of wealthy people and movie stars and famous singers would take a step from her page, and once you make enough for yourself, start spreading the wealth around a little, start helping the other people climb up that ladder.
Or even just be able to sing. That would be nice.
Well, yes.
But and you consider what she came from too. I mean, this is there's so many of those sort of hard scrabble backgrounds, right, from that area of the world in country music, and it's remarkable. It's remarkable.
It really is. It hurts my heart that she's gone.
Yeah.
And just
and now, unfortunately, agent number 2.
Yeah. The great Tim Curry. I saw him just about a month ago on CBS this morning. Now, this is what's probably going to get me in a lot of hot water. Again, Dolly, I fully expected to, for me to be in my 80s and her celebrating like her 110th birthday. Tim was not doing good towards the end.
No. What was it, like 20 years ago or something? It was a while back. It wasn't like recently they had the stroke.
Yeah. And I fully like Dolly took a break. There was back in was it the spring or was it late last year when she had to step back from some dates in Vegas and people were worried about her, and then she issued a statement. She's like, no, I'm fine. I just it's exhaustion. Well, we now know that was probably the start of the final lap for her. But had it not been for that, I think she would probably be performing in Vegas today.
Yeah.
She wouldn't even, there would be no sadness around Dolly Parton today. I'm going to say this as someone who liked his output, a guy who enjoyed him in everything I saw him in or heard him in, because he did some VA stuff too. I do not think that Tim Curry was going to bounce back.
No.
I think he was
confined to a wheelchair, I believe.
Yeah.
He was. There was no bouncing back for Tim Curry. Brilliant actor. I mean, in a category, in one sense, the sort of sleepy-eyed Brit like Tim Roth, in a league with, in terms of disappearing into roles with, I forget now his name. He played Sirius Black in the Harry Potter movies. He was Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Gary Oldman.
Yes.
Yeah, that kind of capacity to entirely immerse himself. Really, really fabulous, and some of the best, stuff. Legend. I mean, good heavens.
Yeah,
to be able to communicate anything with all that on.
One of the best analogies I ever heard, because right around in the same time frame, we got 2 amazing Jim Henson Muppet films. One of them, of course, was A Muppet Christmas Carol with Michael Caine, and then we had Muppet Treasure Island with Tim Curry. And someone said the reason A Muppet Christmas Carol was so good was because that Michael Caine treated all of the Muppets. He acted as though they were people he was acting against.
He took it completely seriously.
The reason Muppet Treasure Island worked so well was because Tim Curry just acted like another Muppet.
He chewed scenery like
Yeah.
nobody.
Yeah, and I mean, it's phenomenal. And like, there was one morning, there was this '90s cartoon. I think it was on for like a whopping 2 seasons, called Freakazoid.
Oh yeah.
And there's an episode of Freakazoid where they spoofed basically like every Ed Wood movie in the like 19-minute segment of the show. And the villain in that episode was voiced by Tim Curry, but he was Tim Curry doing Tim Curry. And it was so ridiculous and over the top. The first morning, it was a Saturday morning cartoon. The first morning I ever watched it with my girlfriend, who is now Mrs. the Dungeon Delver, I was like, man, they're doing a pretty good Tim Curry. That's and this is before like digital where you can just pause,
Yeah.
They're devoting like 0.8 seconds to every frame of the title cards, literally just the WGA required minimum to have someone's name up on the screen for them to be included. So we could never catch it. And then we ended up with it on a tape somehow or the other, and we paused it, and sure enough, that was Tim Curry.
Yeah.
I hope you're not frightened by my orangutan. It just absolutely amazing. And I saw a really good review of him, or a really good thought about him. He took an absolutely B Disney live action Three Musketeers movie and immersed himself in the Cardinal Richelieu role so well that he made it an A film. Like, this movie is entirely ridiculous. I will be Cardinal Richelieu. That is who I am for the next 100 minutes. And my God, did he elevate that movie to fine art,
Yeah.
And he won the Order of Lenin when he helped the Red October defect to
Oh yes.
the United States.
I will always remember him best as the devil from Legend.
Yeah. The six or 7 hours of makeup and then not able to eat or drink but through a straw, and those fiberglass horns that are like as big as my thigh. 2 of those on either side of his head. Granted, as lightweight as they could make it, and it still be convincing. But
honestly, the fact that he could communicate anything other than pain, and encumbrance, like if the encumbrance rule from D&D was realized on screen, it had that headgear he was wearing.
Yeah,
and
he
was there all in, right?
Yeah,
you got to poke and prod Jennifer Connelly for 130 minutes, so that ain't bad. I'd wear a heavy piece of head makeup for that.
Fringe benefits.
I remember too. There was I was just looking it up to confirm because I thought it was true. In the 80s, there was a Peter Pan and the Pirates cartoon.
Yes,
Curry did the voice for Hook in that.
Yep.
And it was brilliantly done. I mean, the cartoon as a whole was typical 80s kind of, wasn't great, wasn't bad.
But I put it in the fantastic category, and I don't know why you can't find it anywhere now.
Well, yeah, probably too good,
That's right.
But I always remember his hooks. Odds, hammered and tongs. Yeah, that sort of beautiful resonance.
Without a doubt, my favorite role for him actually is in Clue.
Yes,
which is just a completely cheesy movie, but I love it to death. Just going through the gunshot. I know you haven't got any bullets in that gun. You fired 2, then 2, then 1. No, I only fired 1 + 2 + 2 + 1. Not 1 + 1 + 1 + 2. Just amazing in that movie. I'm Mr. Body's butler. What do? I buttle.
I'm a butler. I'm not his butler.
Oh, just so good in everything he did. And of course, every theater kid went to midnight showings at Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Right.
I did not. So before I say, did either one of you guys do the Rocky Horror Picture Show in the movie theaters? No,
I am too German. That is too much chaos. And all the German, he's like, no, this is a mess. You're making a mess. Can't do it.
So for me, it was there were two kinds of people that went to midnight movies. You had three. You had the metalheads who would go to see heavy metal. The nerds, the geeks, the dorks, the metalheads who'd go to see heavy metal at the midnight movie. And animation enthusiasts. It was a weird crowd there. You had the stoners would go see Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Right.
But then all of your theater kids would go see Rocky Horror Picture Show. All your Gen X theater kids would go see Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I never did that. Like, I never saw the movie. I had friends in high school who would quote it religiously, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
And it was like, you're right. I was a theater kid, and I didn't go to see it, and it was like missing. It was like you hadn't seen Monty Python. You didn't understand what a third of the jokes were.
Yeah, exactly. I finally saw, and my friends were like, oh, we're going to take you. We're going to take you one night. We're going to tell you we're taking you to see The Wall or something like that. And we're going to drag you in there. And I'm like, I'm really not into humiliation rituals. So I'm not going to do that. So I managed to avoid it throughout high school and college. And I finally caught it on like HBO or something like that. When we had that, when I moved in with the missus, and I was just like, okay, I get it. Yeah, this is kind of amusing. I'm really glad I didn't go see this in the theater.
It's probably one of those things that if you're not seeing it in the theater with all of the chaos happening and throwing things at the screen and repeating the lines and all that, it's probably, oh yeah, okay. But if you are doing that, then it takes it to a different place. But you have to like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like my wife hates audience participation in live theater. Like, if you go do Midsummer Night's Dream and the fairies run through the audience and pull people up to dance on stage, and she hates that. It's like, I'm here to watch. I don't want to do anything. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, it's probably gonna drive you up the wall.
But yeah, he was the Dr. Frank Infurter.
Yeah.
So that's how a lot of people knew him. But like, the first movie that I saw him in beginning to end was Hunt for Red October.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? The first one, I think Clue was probably the first one I saw him.
I think so for me too. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't see him in anything that I didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
Even Rocky Horror, even though it wasn't my speed, it was not terrible.
No. Well, and you can see, even if you hate a movie that someone's in, you can see that the actor in it is doing a good job. Like, good job, lousy film, good job. And I don't think Rocky Horror is lousy. I have still not seen it. Even if it's not your thing, you can at least acknowledge brilliant job.
For me, Richard O'Brien as Riff Raff was better character in Rocky Horror as far as the amount of fun, but that's not a huge patch on Tim Curry, because that's like a matter of 0.1%. They're both amazing. So he'll be remembered for the fun stuff, the good stuff, the dramatic stuff that he did. So
sadly, it's not where the sadness ended this past week.
Yes.
It's not. I've got of course, now this is kind of an odd one, because this is a man whose voice I knew, and I've got another one if you want to pop that one up there. This is a man whose voice I knew from so many cartoons growing up. Transformers was literally just on the other side of, well, surfing girls in cars is a little bit more my speed now.
Right.
But I know a lot of kids loved him as Optimus Prime. But I mean, he voiced Venger in the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, and this, of course, is Peter Cullen, the late Peter Cullen, who was just the voice for a whole lot of kids. And
there is you go to those 80s cartoons and you start looking at the credits, you'd think that there was like maybe a dozen actors working on them, because Peter Cullen was in everything. Lorenzo Music was in everything. I mean, there's like a handful of guys, Maurice LaMarche, a handful of guys doing like everything. He was all over the place.
Just such a talented voice actor.
He was Eeyore too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. He was. I'm trying to think. It was there was another great talent, Canadian actually, Don Messick, another great voice actor. But no, Peter Cullen, Optimus Prime. Imp points out he did the Predator sound.
Yeah.
He did the Predator sound.
Yeah. I always think that's funny when a studio brings in like that level of talent to do something that really kind of your cat could probably have done.
Yeah.
It's like getting what's his name to do Groot, and he actually records 5,000 versions of himself saying I am Groot.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to say the thing that a lot of people don't realize about Peter Cullen too is there was sort of a second wave of Japanese animation that hit the 80s or hit the US in the 1980s, and he was in a lot of those. Especially the ones with big robots. I don't know why he was in those specifically, but
that voice, it sounded, it's so deep. You could think of it as being something huge, right?
Yeah, that's true. And a lot of people don't realize if that wave hadn't made it, it's questionable if the subsequent wave of anime with Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z and all that stuff, which sort of never went away, and our current love affair with anime, would that have even happened if it wasn't for Peter Cullen in the 80s?
I think I just have to make a confession here. I think I may have just realized that it isn't Dragon Balls.
It's not Dragon Balls.
Throwing that out there.
Should it have a possessive S? Dragon Balls?
Can I have some Dragon Balls? Give us a couple of Dragon Balls.
Gosh.
Sorry.
Well,
now I have to say, when Dolly Parton and then Tim Curry, my wife and I were talking about like, okay, who's going to be the third, and I saw Peter Cullen, and I came in and said it's Peter Cullen. She vetoed that, and I said no, he's the third. And she's like, well, it's the voice of Optimus Prime. I said, oh no, let me tell you what he did, and I'm rattling off all these things. Then I realized that they were pretty much all kind of boy cartoons. It's like, well, no, you probably didn't hear a lot of Peter Cullen's voice in the 80s.
Yeah, no Care Bears, no.
Then she found out he did.
No, he was in Gummy Bears.
Eeyore. Right. Then she found out he did Eeyore, and then she's like, okay, maybe, yeah.
Okay.
He and I would like to say he was part of, I would say, the government's first program to traumatize a nation of boys when they killed Optimus Prime on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, was that okay? So showing I have seen that meme so many times that I have seen that meme over and over again of like, this was my canon moment. It's all the Autobots standing around Optimus as he's lying there. Was that in the film, or was that in the 27-minute Daily Toy commercial?
No, it was the movie.
That was in the movie, which I saw in the theaters. And it was completely shocking because in the cartoon, nobody died. You know, you'd have laser beams, which I guess tickle them or something.
Well, everyone jumped out of, like in G.I. Joe, they jumped out of the tank just before it blew up. You could see that, you know.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I think let me see here. Yeah, Robert Phillips in with a super. I don't that are either one of you guys sharing to your sharing to your
no, I
channels?
tried to, and it just never works. So
okay. Well, then Robert Phillips, thank you very much for the super. I will
next time we get together for an in-person meeting of world domination planning, you buy the pizza. How's that?
Yes, that sounds good to me. That sounds great to me.
Well, if we do it up north, you could probably buy 100 pizzas with that.
Yeah, right.
$10 American. Oh, I could buy a pizza place.
Yeah.
But I sincerely wish that this was where the sad passings stop. But as kind of an early Gen Xer, well, we lost another one, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. This other passing here, this is not exactly someone who was, say, on my radar, like, oh no, I love them and I had, you know, or anything like that. But I think it bears mentioning. Yang, if you want to go ahead and kick that up there. I know a lot of people are not going to know who this was. J.P. Morgan, Jaye. JP Morgan. Now, if you're one of those kids that snuck down to watch the Gong Show, or rather laugh in when you weren't supposed to, she took over the go-go dancing from Goldie Hawn when Goldie Hawn went on to do stage and screen stuff. But JP Morgan, a very beautiful woman, a talented singer, but she ended up not doing too much of it because she was doing the comedian kind of stuff. She actually got bounced from TV for arguably one of the most ridiculous things. So if you don't know the format of the Gong Show, for maybe some of our younger audience, or maybe just it wasn't on your radar, the Gong Show was essentially America doesn't have talent. And the premise of the show was you would bring an ostensibly good act that you did, whether it was stand-up comedy, whether it was musical, whatever kind of vaudeville sticky sort of stuff. You'd go on the show and you'd start performing your act. And if the judges hated it, they had these big padded mallets and they'd hit a gong. And if you got gonged, you were off the show. And I think the prize was like $500 or something like that. But again, this is also 1975, 1976. And the show was originated by a very strange TV personality by the name of Chuck Barris. So the judges who would watch them, they would have like B-lister celebrities on, like Paul Lynde. Go back and watch like Pyramid or something like that, or the Hollywood Squares. That was kind of your crowd.
Yeah. B-listers or A-listers whose star had faded.
Yeah, exactly.
They're trying to get back in it.
Yeah. So JP Morgan was on the show, and one of the acts that was on one afternoon was the way the guy did the premise was he would perform, I think it was like musical or something like that, and he could do it while people around him like threw things at him. And so he invited the judges to start throwing things at him. And it got pretty silly because the judges like started taking off their shoes and their socks and their sports coats and so on. So here's JP Morgan, this vivacious brunette who removes her jacket, removes her shoes. She's throwing this guy. She's laughing. Everybody's laughing. She apparently opened her top to get her bra off and throw it at the guy. And so she's trying to now hold her shirt, but they kept doing cutaways, because this was filmed in a studio. So they would do like a cutaway title card that would like, Yowza or something like that on it. And then they'd come back and, she'd grab the top of her shirt, and then they'd cut away again. And they did this like 3 times. Everybody's laughing. Audience is laughing. Barris is laughing. The performers laughing. The other judges are laughing. She basically got banned from TV because she flashed her tits, which we didn't know, right? This wasn't like a wardrobe malfunction where, oh yeah, there's her nipple with jewelry attached to it. This was literally like, and then it cuts away to a title card. It comes back. Audience is uproarious laughter. The standards and practices people were like, you young lady you're done. So that low key ended her career. Whereas today it would be like, yeah, we got a Netflix show where you can just do that.
Yeah.
And now people get famous for saying Hawk Tua into a YouTube camera. So.
Yeah. So, but she performed around. She had, little Vegas acts and stuff like that. She did, but I knew her predominantly for her bits on Laugh-In, and she was the laughing girl after Goldie Hawn. So I didn't keep up with her, but she's another little piece of Gen X childhood that has passed into the beyond, and so I felt it merited mentioning. Robert Phillips has a question for you, Dungeon Minister. I think the word bosom shows up in the Bible a few times, but I'm going to let you field that one, DM.
You say field or feel?
You know what? Go with whatever makes you happy. That's not much better.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say at very least, because it's at top of my mind, because it was just recently. Nursemaids are mentioned in the story of Moses, so that is pretty much right there. You can't have a nursemaid without nursing. You can't be nursing without breasts. So yes is the answer.
So there you have it.
And thanks, Michael. It was a lot of fun.
And a question for Yang from Michael Dale. Did you guys survive? Oh, you were answering it there. The entire group survived barrier peaks. Next week we'll see.
We survived for the moment. We didn't really fight anything this week. Luckily, we didn't have to. We met some horses that Blackthorn is very disappointed he didn't get to ride.
Horses?
Well,
no, dude.
Smart horses.
Those were not horses. Those, my friend.
Ponies with wings.
Oh my God. Dude. They met. What was it? Lamassu, I think.
Lamassu or Shiatsu or
Shadu. They met 2 Shadu who were trapped on
62 Shadu.
They met 2 Shadu who were trapped on the starship because of its force fields. They couldn't probability travel to escape it. And yeah, Yang's druid Blackthorn is like, I'm gonna ride them like horses. And they're like, no, you're not.
Technically, he never asked, so we'll never know. It was the evil magic user who drove them away.
Mark Dickey pointing out that also King Harold of the Fifth of Norway died.
I didn't even know he was sick.
One of your well, outside of Norway and outside of Northern Europe, I suppose, lesser talked about royal families, but apparently quite a force of nature he was. Gone are the days when the Norwegian kings would sweep into the village with battle axe and a crew of bloody-minded men behind them. So,
Yeah. So he is no longer with us. Oldest surviving monarch.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe this is something you can fill us in on, Padre, when I kind of get done with it. Literally, the idea of king is so utterly archaic to me, king or queen or prince or anything like that. I mean, dictators, I get, okay. You promised a bunch of generals stuff. They promised their army a bunch of stuff. You hold on to a country with an iron grip. That's you get Putin that way. It's a circular firing squad. Everybody's got something on everybody, so nobody's going to let anything go. You do that for enough years, and you instill enough psychoses in your country, at least at the top where the power is, and you wind up with North Korea, so you can pretty much hold it indefinitely. Niyazov in Turkmenistan was able to do that. Or, religious fanaticism that puts an Ummah in power, who proceeds to be absolutely abhorrent, and you wind up with the Taliban, and what have you, which kind of toes a little bit towards what I'm saying. But in an enlightened Western culture, to say, well, I'm the king. Well, why are you the king? Because God said so. That's literally the only derivation, because otherwise you're an elected official or an appointed official.
Right. Well, I would say, first of all, the where did democracies flourish? Where did it?
Questionable, but Western Europe.
In Western Europe, countries that came from monarchies. Any system of government can become despotic. Elected governments can be despotic. Dictators can be despotic. Presumably, dictators can be benevolent. So there's nothing inherently one way or the other about any form of government. You always hear people say democracy is the worst form of government except for all the others, and people say, so therefore monarchies are no good. But that was said by Winston Churchill, who was the prime minister of a constitutional monarchy.
Yeah.
So I think what it does in the modern terms, what it does is it provides the sort of stable rudder that, okay, this prime minister, that prime minister, this president, that president, whatever, right? And that's all very important for the running of the country and the political direction. But the soul of the nation, which is not the state, the soul of the nation is held in the monarchy, right? That the monarch is to be the head of the nation, and so that provides a different function, right?
So I mean,
and as far as coming to power, you talk about grabbing the dictators grabbing enough power, etc. There's a wonderful line of and I don't know who it was. Some peer of the British realm was asked, I was elected. Some member of the House of Commons said, I was elected to the Commons. How did your family get into the House of Lords? How did you get that position? And he said, with the battle axe, sir, with the battle axe. That's it. It started out with who's strong enough to take the land and therefore protect the land from anyone else taking it.
But at this juncture, I mean, when you're talking whether you're talking about England or Monaco or what have you, you're basically at that point you're talking about somebody who's just kind of a national mascot.
Well, yeah, I mean there are actual constitutional powers vested in the monarchy, and everyone.
No, I get it, but I mean tomorrow. Correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I mean, couldn't King Charles tomorrow just pick up the phone and say, launch a nuclear missile at Moscow? I'm bloody tired of.
There's always speculation about that. Generally, when the political, life of a monarchy gets problematic, contentious, etc., someone always raises the fact, especially in Britain, because that's the one most people in the English-speaking world at least hear about, because we speak English and so do they. When things in British politics get contentious and rancorous, someone always brings up the fact that really, well, the king could just dissolve Parliament. The king could just, and technically true, but it's one of those things that, like, it's true because it's never tested, right? Like, we don't have a fence around our yard preventing our children from leaving the property at 4 a.m. They could get out of their bed and leave the house, and Fleetwood's sitting over there and smiling at me now. They could get out of the house at 1 a.m. and go gadding about the town, spray painting things, right? There's no mechanism in place to stop them. But if they did it once, that would be the last time any child of ours left the house without our accompaniment any time of day, right? So there are things that the monarch, yes, has the technical authority to do, but they don't. Is a duchy larger than a county? I think you're probably thinking. The sizes vary. It's less about the size of land, although it's a higher rank. It does tend to be more about a particular honor associated with a particular place.
I think King Charles' biggest problem is he cannot wield a battle axe. There's no way that guy's picking one up.
Well, not
Could
anymore.
he do it?
I bet Will is pretty. He's a pretty big guy. They are ridiculously tall. Harry can wield the battle axe. We know because we've seen her on TV. Hey, ba-ding, dang.
Hey yo!
See, but I think the battle axe
correct,
wields him.
sir. Yes,
he shoots. He scores from way downtown.
He drives the paint and slams it in. So that comes to my question, because really that's what this is. You guys who were hoping for pop culture entertainment, you're getting a civics lesson. Sorry. But does that basically is Canada ruled by the royal family?
No. So when it comes to the Commonwealth, Britain's empire is no longer direct controlled or anything. It's not controlled at all. Our constitution was repatriated. It's now ours. But the head of the government is the prime minister. The head of state is actually the governor general, so appointed by the monarch. But in reality, chosen by the prime minister. In the same way that in the Church of England, the bishops are in name, they are appointed by the monarch, because the monarch is the governor of the Church of England. But the monarch appoints the bishops that the church leadership says, they offer. It's like forcing a card in a magic trick. And I have 3 selections for bishop. We have these 2 and we have this one. We have these 2 and we have this one. So the governor general is like that. I mean, officially appointed by the monarch, but at the suggestion of the prime minister.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for the clarification.
Now, he is on our money, though. And it's now becoming, about maybe a quarter of the money has the king's head on it rather than the queen of happy memory.
Interesting. All right. Well,
happy to be of help.
As far as any questions for me, civics lesson is over. What do we got? What's going on in pop culture, Yang? I spent the dog days of the summer. I just put myself in a stasis chamber, and floated there after I got back from Wisconsin. So, Yang, have you seen any? Oh, my voice broke there. That was lovely. Janie, would you like to go to the dance? Have you seen any good movies?
It's interesting you asked that. On happier news for a change, I saw Spider-Man. Not only did it not suck, it was actually really good.
Yeah, it was a fun movie.
Excellent. I am the outlier this time. I have not seen it yet. I Don't remember what I was doing that Wednesday, but Mrs. the Dungeon Delver and number one daughter, they went to see it. They seemed to like it. So lay it on us.
Yeah. You know what? It's a very fun movie. I would say, like, in the canon of Marvel movies, just within the canon of Marvel movies, let alone cinema as a whole, it's not a great movie. It's not but the bar dropped so low over the last few years that just going to a movie and going, hey, yeah, that's fun, was like Oscar material.
It's interesting to hear you say that, because I would say it is one of the best Marvel movies out there.
Really?
I would put it probably just behind Winter Soldier in the number 2 position.
Wow.
Spider-Man Brand New Day had a lot of stuff going for it that most Marvel movies didn't. They didn't have the silly jokes that took out all the tension.
Yeah, there was some humor, but it wasn't. You're right. It wasn't over the top.
It wasn't like that Guardians of the Galaxy humor that only works in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
Yeah.
And then leaked over into the rest of Marvel.
Yeah. You have characters in the movie who make sense thematically. And what I mean is a lot of the people that Spider-Man would fight or be friends with in most of the other films with what's his face, Tom Holland, they were just kind of there, like, oh, this is a big villain, we'll throw that in. In the last movie, they had, oh, let's bring back the other Spider-Mans and previous villains.
Let's throw everything at the camera.
Yeah,
I did like that one, but just because I think Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is best Spider-Man.
It was a fun movie to watch, but there really wasn't a lot there. Whereas in this one, there's actually themes. You have the Punisher is brought in, which is absolutely fabulous because Peter Parker is sort of in a transition phase where he's all alone, and he could end up becoming the Punisher.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Hulk, Bruce Banner / Hulk, where Peter could end up like that, where he's actively fighting one of his 2 personalities, Peter or Spider-Man. And then you have Jean Grey, which is just everything reckless, as she's the villain. And it was great to see a villain that wasn't a normal villain. Normally a movie like this would be completely overstuffed. Like even the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3, one of the problems is too many villains, not enough time for each one. But because they knew exactly how they wanted to use all these other characters, like everybody got their part, everybody had enough. It didn't feel like it was too much. Some people complain about the what's her name, Florence Pugh's new Black Widow.
Florence Pugh,
Pugh, yeah.
Pugh,
So but that was, just a teeny tiny part. All she had to do was let Peter know he's small potatoes.
Yeah, well, and the humor on that, to me, I don't know. I don't think it was intended to be ironic, but like nobody cares about that strain of movies. And so her character from that strain of movies saying that Spider-Man, one of the top shelf most popular heroes, is small potatoes, is that's funny.
Absolutely.
You're nothing. We're the big shots in a movie that nobody went to see.
And then you have Zendaya as MJ, who's like not really MJ, but Zendaya likes Tom Holland, and that comes across on the screen.
Yeah.
Girl likes guy.
And actually, I have to say that they did manage that very tricky transition. A couple who had on-screen chemistry, who then actually become a couple. Sometimes that does it for the chemistry.
Yes,
because they're getting all that out off screen. They've gone there. And so you lose that sort of tension, but they managed to keep the thing alive, especially in this one. And I will say that it was I liked that there was no easy emotional payoff.
Yes.
MJ doesn't, like say, you know what, I don't recognize you, don't remember you, but let's give it a try. He's like, no, I don't know who you are. I mean, sorry, but I don't, that was good. It was honest. It was honest.
And but she didn't completely shut it off. And then he's, at the end, it seems like maybe his old buddy Ned remembers him.
Right. There's this little, yeah.
So, but even before that part, like you see that Peter Parker still enjoys hanging out with his friends.
Yeah.
Even when
where they're
didn't
sitting there doing the
knew who he
Lego was charming.
Yeah. And it's something that the movie needed. I liked the other Spider-Man movies, but what we really needed to see, like a local street level Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the studios actually listened, and that's what we got. We got Spider-Man with a fairly simple story. It wasn't stakes of blowing up the universe or some alternate Earth or whatever. It was just him saving people from bad guys.
Yeah, we're getting pretty spoiler heavy, Patty. We'll understand. Take care.
Sorry about
that. Sorry.
Peter Parker is Spider-Man. I didn't know it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now he's definitely gone. But so that was a great movie. Let me see. Did we talk about He-Man in our June show?
I feel like we did.
We did. Okay. Trying to remember what else. Lanterns. First 2 episodes have been pretty interesting.
No.
It's sort of like what if superheroes met True Detective?
So my problem with that is Green Lantern can create anything.
Uh-huh.
Literally, Green Lantern can create anything.
Yep.
Anything.
Yep.
Green Lantern can create. The point of True Detective, I mean, they keep you guessing in the first season of True Detective. Is this going to be Lovecraftian horror? Is this going to be police drama that skews into horror because of the nature of the crimes? What is going down here? And like, to me, Green Lantern could create anything, but also, this is like True Detective is a bit like, let's do another Iron Man movie. We're gonna get Robert Downey Jr. for another Iron Man movie. That sounds cool. Who's he fighting? Michael Myers from Halloween. Wait, what? The guy that can literally tank a missile is right. Like, he can just pick Michael Myers up and tear him into little pieces, right? Like, yeah, but it'll be scary. It's like, come on.
Well, I'm not saying they're necessarily Lovecraftian enemies, but just in case Patty picks this up later, you have they're villains from the legitimate Green Lantern universe. Green Lantern has about 80 years of history for it. So, there's a lot to choose from. It does involve Hal Jordan, who is not the OG Green Lantern, but he's like the big one from the 60s. It has Jon Stewart in it. And we know that Guy Gardner.
From the Daily Show? Sorry.
Yes. He's got a very good tan, though. So it's like a really good, interesting mix of there's only supposed to be one ring on Earth at a time, if that. So how are there 3 lanterns? And it's so far, it's going to be episode 3 tomorrow. But so far, they've done a good job keeping the mystery. They've got some people who, one person's from Gotham. Batman connection? Who knows? There's other very strange things afoot. And even if it's not Lovecraftian per se, you have different DC characters who can fit that kind of a mold. So it's quite good so far.
Cool.
After 2 episodes. Let's see, and then I think Young George Washington. I saw that, which again,
I've heard good things about it. I love my country's history. I particularly love George Washington and hearing about his history. So that is on my to watch list for sure.
I think you definitely should. It's about when he was young, which is a period that nobody ever studies in history class. We just sort of pick him up around the U.S. Revolution, like, oh yeah, I did some stuff before.
Surveyor. That's about the level of and actually led some unsuccessful early on. He earned his command by having been failed and disappointed and screwed up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But he was a bit of a player in the French and Indian Wars. So he
redeemed himself.
Yes. So, this movie covered that, and supposedly they're going to be making 2 more. So it's quite nice.
Cool. Excellent. I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing the show, whatever they're going to do with it, as long as it has fidelity, because the good Lord knows a good show relies on its fidelity and its commitment to its source material. But fortunately, we live in a time when studios are coming back around to that, to embracing good source material and doing it right. I think we left the ridiculousness of 2014 to say 2025 behind us, and we can move forward with good material and a good presentation.
It's all going to be smooth sailing from here.
I can't think of a thing. Hollywood's got their heads screwed on straight. The Paramount thing is going to be great. I honestly, I can't think of a thing that could go wrong here.
I hate to tell you, but Ridley Scott has announced he is making another sequel to Alien Covenant. He wants to finish the trilogy, and it's going to be all about the robot David.
So somebody pointed this out, and I wish I was the person who had thought of this, but I said that Ridley Scott, it seems to me, cannot stop. Like, if somebody does better than him with something that he worked on, he can't stop screwing with it. Aliens established a very different vision of the alien universe. It set the aliens up as eusocial. We created new rugged heroes who survived. We did something very different with Ripley. We created her as a mother, the determined mother figure. And then Scott did this. Well, actually, David created the aliens. What? Well, you see, there were these things called engineers, and it just kind of swerves. People say Covenant was a pretty good one. But then we went back to formula with Romulus. Aside from a few hiccups here and there, when you compare it against Alien 3, the 2 Alien versus Predator movies, the first Ridley Scott Alien Prometheus, it stacked up really well, and it was like a worthy sidequel, if you will, to 1979 Alien. So this comes out and they start talking about stuff they're going to do with it. And then there's the awful Aliens Earth TV show. And that wasn't Scott executive producer on that, or am I wrong?
I think he was.
Yeah.
But executive producer generally don't do a whole lot of anything.
Yeah.
It's usually they're just attaching the name to it to make it sound more prestigious.
Yeah, but again, this goes back into my theory of he can't stand the fact that somebody might have done his thing better. And so we end up with this new Alien sequel. It's like, okay, here's Romulus. It's good. It's not great, but it definitely fits better tonally with Alien than anything save Aliens that has come after it. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll come in and do another sequel then to drag everybody's attention back over this way. So
I just think he's tired of having a good reputation. He's like, before I go, I am going to completely trash it.
Yeah, I created the Duelists, Blade Runner, hell, even Black Rain. Yeah, I think I'm just going to shit over my entire body of work.
Yeah, I mean, this is becoming sort of like a Highlander situation where you've got 58 sequels, but real fans only count one.
Yeah. Vinny says he prefers Alien to Aliens. Okay. They're different films.
Yeah.
They're entirely different films. One is a horror movie, one is a sci-fi action movie.
They're different genres.
They feed, for me, I prefer them both the same. I think they are both 10 out of 10 movies. They just feed different things. Yeah. For me, it's like, what do you like, lobster or steak? Yes. Yeah. So
yeah. Do you like Winter Soldier or When Harry Met Sally?
Yeah. And I think a salient point that Vinny makes also is that everything becomes a multiverse. And everything gets retconned to hell and gone. People don't look at, can you make a good movie? People look at what kind of a franchise can we build around this?
Yeah, and how can we tie it into 16 other titles we've got going?
Yeah.
Why does Batman have to live in the same world as Superman? Why can't they just be two totally different stories? Like Herman Melville wrote more than Moby Dick, the whale isn't showing up over in Billy Blood, it's just...
Yeah. To go to kind of take this over into video games, the convoluted ass lore that the company wearing the skin suit of id Software has today about Doom is mind-boggling. It is literally just like, my brothers in Christ, it is a guy in green armor with a shotgun who kills demons. That's it. That's literally all we need. And now you've got this. Well, there was a war in heaven, but it wasn't actually heaven. They were aliens, and the aliens were selling humanity out to hell to squeeze life-giving energy out of the humans that they condemned there. But humans just, and it's just like, it's a guy who kills demons with a shotgun. Yeah. That's all we need. We don't need lore. We don't need sequels and prequels. Just sell us a newer, shinier video game. Ha ha, demon go boom. That's all I want. Or don't sell us any sequels. Ha ha, demon go boom. Okay, I go find another video game.
No.
I mean, there's some things that are very, very good for that. There's some things that are magnificent for that. Again, staying on the id Bethesda Microsoft tip, the Elder Scrolls games have deeply intertwined lore. And yes, you will miss something if you don't go back and fire up DOSBox and play Elder Scrolls Arena. There will be stuff that is referenced in Skyrim that you will just be like, the hell did they say that for? Or you go read the wiki for it. But not everything needs to be that way. But that seems to be all entertainment wants, is how can we franchise this? How can we have seasons of things? It's just so grating.
Oh, but surely though the Alien franchise is the only horrific attack on the source material that will be coming down the pipe this year.
I think so. Like I said, I think we've kind of gotten out from under it now. I think we should be fine. I don't foresee anything coming along like that.
I'd also like to point out too, we have the rise of Angel Studios. We see a lot from them now, whereas they were around a while ago, but they really weren't doing any big numbers. So I think this is perhaps a time when we're going to have new studios come up and take the challenge when those old studios are still stuck in 2017 logic. Like this one.
I think I'm going to be sick.
It's just...
I will say on the far left, that's some damn good Thulsa Doom cosplay.
That does look like Thulsa Doom. Oh, that really does.
Hang on a second. We gotta. This is. I mean.
Actually, then the guy on the far right could be one of his henchmen.
That's true. This is like the Temu version of Conan the Barbarian.
Temu Conan. Oh,
there.
I mean, what is happening with the hair?
It's Thulsa Doom.
It is Thulsa Doom.
Yes, you know what it is, don't you, boy? What is a sword to the hand that wields it?
Lord. Oh, that's sad.
Steel isn't strong, boy. Flesh is stronger. Contemplate this on the Tree of Woe.
I think Tree of Woe is a more apropos name for the Rings of Power.
Yeah,
but it's WHOA. Whoa.
Yes. Whoa.
Tree of Woe.
Yeah, I don't even. This is not what the professor. I can't. Why? I have nothing else to say.
Yeah, it's that is some serious stupid. Actually, the guy in the big red beard over there, if I'm him showing up to that photo shoot, I'm thinking, well, I thought I looked stupid, but I'm glad I got away on this one.
So right to left, we've got Pretty Okay Job, Colin Kaepernick. I stole this from Star Wars Episode 1 and Thulsa Doom.
Yeah.
I believe this is what we call money laundering, because there's no way that you could let a season, like 3 seasons of this go. I mean, all right, you did season 1, you made a big mistake. And I'm talking about the Amazon Prime executives here. I can understand, fool me once. However, I don't understand how you could let the same creative group do seasons 2 and 3. Well, if anything, you should have canceled it, pretended it never existed, and then relaunched another season a year later that was actually done well.
Yeah, well, after the first season, though, they already had all of the T-shirts printed with the ring mail on it.
That's true.
They had all the plastic swords and shields. They didn't need to buy that, so they're just making money now, right? I mean, they already had that wig. Which one am I talking about? All of them.
Yeah.
God Lord. In what world? If Tolkien could see, he'd weep. If Tolkien could see, he'd weep.
Yes.
all of this stuff.
Fleetwood's over here gagging. He actually had to lean against a chest of drawers and get himself together over there.
Wise, beyond your years, Fleetwood. I don't coach you again. This is what Tolkien decried. This is what he did not want to happen.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It was exactly what he did not want to happen. It's very prescient.
Parade of chicanery.
Yeah.
I challenge anyone to approach me and say that this is even remotely defensible. And if this is such a great, I'm trying not to curse. If this is such a great interpretation, if this is such a wonderful representation, why does it have to have Tolkien's name attached? Why couldn't you have taken your super cool, really awesome fantasy story and produced something original, when I might have sat down and said, well, this looks kind of ridiculous, but I do like fantasy television. Not, I'm going to wipe my ass with something that you adore.
Yeah.
And then make you smell it. And if you don't, I'll say you were never a real fan.
Yeah. You do. Yeah. This is the soul of Tolkien. This is what he really wanted to write. This is what he meant.
It's demoralization. It is deliberate demoralization. It is the destruction of something that you like, that brings you joy, that carries a message of positivity to bring you down and to grind what you care for into the dirt.
Yeah.
It is a deliberate act taken by entertainment forces who have a very, very specific message that they want to get across.
And speaking of things to demoralize you and drive you into the dirt.
Wonderful.
Wizards of the Coast has announced Dark Sun.
Dark ocean, won't you come?
Your Chris Cornell is spot on, Father. Yeah, so I think one of the worst threats you can throw at somebody is, I hope Wizards of the Coast considers your favorite campaign setting for a reboot. So what we got going on there? We got a bunch of art that looks like, not is. I don't want to get any hate mail or legal threats. It looks like AI generated.
Yep.
Or at least touched up.
At least touched up. Yeah, give me a little burnish on the armor. Do not change anything else. Strong recommendation. Okay, I burnished the armor. I didn't change anything else. Thanks. And okay, this is what I know about Dark Sun. It is metal poor. You fight with stone or bone. If somebody has a short sword that is made of bronze, it's like, you are the Lord Humongous. You have a metal weapon that makes you the CMFIC of this desert land. Look at all the metal armor going on those covers. You got this guy with a pauldron on the right. This dude back here with a big metal sword standing up, looking not just a little bit like the Doom cover art for the Doom video game.
Yeah. Big metal something. I don't know if that's a sword or
I don't know.
Klingon
Batleth or something like that. So yeah, Dark Sun is gonna get rebooted. But they've removed slavery.
That's I mean, again, missing the point of exactly what made Dark Sun good and attractive is that you're in a very morally gray world and you can choose to behave honorably, but it's going to cost you because, in order to do that, you're going to have to give up the easy resources, easy alliances. And that's kind of what the whole thing was about. Do you want to play as a heroic being, a heroic person, and try to remake some civilization of the world? Do you just want to survive? But no, let's make nothing really wrong. They'll probably get rid of the cannibals, or they'll change it to they're eating canned food instead of people.
How many years till it's the Dark Sun Cafe?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, they'll have cozy D&D in this. They'll have cozy D&D
Oh, yeah.
in this. There is, so the creators of Dark Sun did build in one strip along one coast. It's like a deep valley where it's still green, there's still water. It's a livable place. One little thin strip of the world that you could potentially go to. I will bet you right now, dollars to donuts, that we get a module about cozy D&D set in there.
Yep.
And they'll hide behind, but this has always been a part of Dark Sun, ignoring the fact that it is incredibly difficult to get to.
Right.
That it is guarded religiously. It's like saying we're going to make a movie, we're going to make another Mad Max sequel that is just set in the city after Furiosa takes over and everybody gets water and things are more egalitarian.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's how the Mad Max movie, the most recent Mad Max movie, not Furiosa, the one before it, Fury Road. That's how Fury Road ended. So it's canon. It's there. What are you complaining for?
Right. Oh well.
And I mean, the freaking, slavery. So we just finished on Tuesday night on my channel a 2-year run through of the Slave Lords modules, or maybe longer than that. It may have been closer to 3. But those modules are about toppling slavery. But there is an unabashed mention of the fact you're finding evidence of all of this slavery that's gone on throughout the modules. That got reprinted in 2014 as in a hardback set. Mentally Stable Max, yeah. That got reprinted in a hardback volume, and even Skip Williams, an OG, wrote a prequel module, A0, Danger at Dark Shelf Quarry, which it's a good module. I just don't think it fits the others particularly well, but that's neither here nor there. So, what you're not supposed to free them? What? Help me out here. Somebody help me out. Somebody in the audience, throw me a bone. Why can you not set up villains to be taken down?
Because they're misunderstood.
Because the other, so yeah, there's either the villain is actually just misunderstood, or see also the Star Wars, the recent round of Star Wars movies, the villains are so pathetic. Like General Hux, set up in the first one to be a pretty serious character, but in the second one they're like, oh no, oh hey, hang on, people like this guy. We need to make him a clown.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Opening scene of the second one, he just becomes a fool. He's a buffoon. He's nothing. So great. Well, you've undercut all of the tension from that character now. He doesn't matter. So
yeah. So yeah, Dark Sun.
Dark Sun.
Dark Sun.
Dark Sun fans out there, I'm sorry. I just am.
Well, Chubby Funster is making a Shadow Sun, which is sort of his Shadow Dark clone. Or he probably wouldn't be happy if I said Shadow Dark clone, but very much like Dark Sun, but for a Shadow Dark universe. Rule system, we'll say.
Interesting.
Right. Well, gentlemen.
Well, I actually want to one more thing because this has been a couple of relatively depressing things in a row here about the decline of Western civilization. This is not pop culture necessarily; it's just actual culture. There's on you can find him on YouTube. Actually, I'll share the his shot of his YouTube channel. This is an Anglican priest by the name of Malcolm Guite.
Yeah.
And he is delightful. He's a Tolkien scholar. He talks about Tolkien, about Lewis, about Chesterton. He's a poet, a musician, and a priest. And he has written a book. He's writing a Arthuriad. The first one has come out, Galahad and the Grail. It is, first of all, just as a caveat emptor. These are as the old Mallory and Chrétien de Troyes stories where they are explicitly Christian, soaked in Christian imagery and theology. So this isn't the sort of like, Arthur was pre-Roman, Celtic and pagan, all that kind of stuff. No, it's from the medieval tradition, but he's written it in a ballad form. It is a like the old medieval stories would have been, in ballad form of the story of Arthur. In modern language, it's not using that idiom, but in the shape of a ballad, and it's beautiful. It's the most. First of all, the book itself is gorgeous. It's full of this wonderful artwork as Galahad as a kid.
That is nice.
And to find the when they get on the ship, with Dindrain, the sister of Percival, who has this ship. It's just a beautiful book. It feels good in the hand, but Guite's entire thing is the sort of re-enchantment of the culture, that so much of the last 100, let alone 75 years, has been deconstruction, pulling things apart, pulling things down, reducing everything to the functional and the measurable, and pulling our heroes down and making them broken and awful people and all this kind of stuff. And he's like, no, we don't need that. We need enchantment. And so he's retelling the Arthur stories. And he started with this one, then he's going to go back. The next one's coming out in November. That's the Coming of Arthur. And they're absolutely beautiful. It's just gorgeous. The poem, and he says in his author's note, is that they're meant to be spoken. You shouldn't sit here and read this silently. Right? And it's lovely. It is just beautiful. And it creates or it points to a world that isn't just the surface level of stuff, isn't just the measurable, that there is enchantment, that there is beauty, that there's wonderful, there's something beneath, right? And it's simply, I just want to read the prelude because it's gorgeous. I find it. I'm inflicting it on all of you. As I walked out one morning, all in the soft fine rain, it seemed as though a silver veil was shining over hill and vale, as though some lovely, long-lost spell had made all new again. And through that shimmer in the air, I seemed to hear a sound, as though a distant horn were blown in some lost land that I had known, that seemed to speak from tree and stone and echo all around. And with the music came these words, "Poet, take up the tale. Take up the tale this land still keeps. In earth and water magic sleeps. The dryad sighs, the naiad weeps, but you can lift the veil. From where the waves wash Cornwall's caves out to the White Horse Vale, the lands still hold the tale of old, like hidden treasure, buried gold. Once more the story must be told. Poet, take up the tale." Tell of the king who will return. Tell of the Holy Grail. Tell of old knights and chivalry. Tell of the pristine mystery of Merlin's Isle of Gramarye. Poet, take up the tale. Take up the tale of courtesy. Take up the tale of grace. Revive the land's long memory. Summon the fair folk. Let them be. Something of fairy, wild and free, still lingers in this place. Lift up your eyes to see the light on Glastonbury Tor. Then come down from that far green hill to where the sacred waters spill, and shine with the chalice well and listen to their lore. Yea, listen well before you start. Be still ere you begin. See through the surface round about, the noise, the rush, the fear, the doubt. Though modern Britain lies without, fair Logres lives within. You may yet walk through Merlin's Isle by oak and ash and thorn. The ancient hills do not forget, and you might wake their wisdom yet. Who knows what wonders might be met on this midsummer morn? So I have taken up the tale to tell it full and free, the tale that makes my heart rejoice. I tell it for I have no choice. I tell it till another voice takes up the tale from me.
Wow.
And I get all weepy like
Nice.
That's good stuff. So you're doing the audiobook for this?
No, I'm sure he does. If you watch his channel, he's wonderful. He's got this gravelly sort of, English voice.
He looks like he's got a gravelly English voice,
Yeah.
just based on the thumbnails.
He's brilliant. But
Well, that is wonderful, and I think that is.
And I'm reading it to the boys because heaven knows, to be a teenage boy today is to be living under the weight of a culture that says you're garbage, and
Yeah,
and
I can't imagine.
it's such a crime, So
I cannot. I had a head full of bad wiring enough when I was a kid.
yeah.
I can't imagine trying to be one today.
Yeah.
So
So this is I again, if an Arthur story told through an explicitly Christian lens is not your bag, don't do it. But if this is brilliantly done, and I do recommend his channel for Tolkien people, and it's fabulous stuff.
excellent. Sounds
A
wonderful.
cure for the depression of modern pop culture.
All right. I can't think of a better place to wrap than on that high note. We'll definitely consider him for Minister of Culture when we seize power. But gentlemen, do we have any other business?
The only one that I can think of is if you are going to be attending Clericon.
Oh yes, Clericon.
Clericon's coming
More
up.
positivity.
Yes,
The end of
we've got
October.
End of October, and no, other way. Yang's going to be there.
Yang will be there. I will be there in spirit once again. It's in Glen Campbell, Ontario. No, Glengarry, Glen Ross.
Glen
Glenfinnan.
less violent.
ABC, always be conventioning. Coffee is for gamers.
It's for gamers. No, and Glen
I'm
Williams.
from Lake
Ontario,
Geneva. I
have to
was
say-
sent here to. Yeah, anyway, go ahead.
I would say, if you are at a distance, maybe wait till 2027 because the only tables that are open, there is a couple of seats open Saturday morning and a couple of seats open Saturday evening, and I think one or two seats open on Sunday afternoon, and that's it. So it might not be worth if you're going to come up from Arizona or something, but next year jump on it quick, and if you're local. Pop on by because there are some seats open and it would be worth it for a short trip. And yes, Dirty Basement Terrain is there in the person of terrain. This just happens to be at hand because he sent a huge box and I unpacked it on a live stream last night, and then I had to spread it around because I don't have a table to put it on. So this was still up on the shelf. Some of his wonderful.
Lovely.
Ooh.
That is very nice.
Very cool. I won't show the baby heads. Oh yeah, I will. I won't show the baby heads.
Now I will be there.
I mean, that's
Ooh.
just
Very nice. I will be there in spirit. Padre, do you need a little you need a little trivia this year?
Yes, please. Yes,
All right,
please.
trivia is coming. And I will be providing from Treasure Type D. I will be providing an OD&D repro box set for your convention auction.
God bless you. God
Very
bless you.
Nice.
So we'll we'll get the particulars of that sorted out. So well, gentlemen, well,
So one more hour to go.
exactly. We're all gonna be streaming from our driveways.
Yeah.
But seriously, it has been an absolutely fantastic Saturday. I know a lot of sadness, loss of a lot of great, talented, funny, cool people. But life moves on, and so do we.
Yeah.
And what I think any of them would want us to do is keep smiling and keep enjoying the things that make us happy. I will mention before we go a shout out to a fellow channel here on social media, and that of course is the Nerd Cognito Speakeasy. You can catch Nerd Cognito over on, I think they're Rumble, aren't they now?
Mostly Rumble, at least.
Yeah, they're on Rumble. So go give them a look. They often have a lot of fun stuff, and you never know who might pop in to say hi over on the speak. So best wishes to Ryan and company over there.
All right.
And
Well,
roll out.
yes.
Roll out.
Until the next meeting, when all are one. Farewell, everyone.